I'm 26 years old, and until last Tuesday, I thought I had the perfect marriage. Marcus and I met in college, fell in love over terrible cafeteria coffee and late-night study sessions, and got married 3 years ago in a small ceremony surrounded by everyone we love. When our daughter Lily was born a year ago, I truly believed our little family was complete. I thought we were happy. I thought we trusted each other. I thought wrong. Last Tuesday started like any other day. I spent the morning with Lily, watching her practice her wobbly standing and clapping every time she managed to stay upright for more than 3 seconds. She's at that magical age where everything is new and exciting, where a cardboard box can provide hours of entertainment. I made her favorite mashed sweet potatoes for lunch, and she managed to get more of it in her hair than in her mouth, as usual. We were laughing together, just the two of us, completely unaware that our world was about to implode. Marcus came home from work around 6:30, which was normal. What wasn't normal was the way he walked through the door. Usually, he'd call out for us, scoop Lily up in his arms, and cover her chubby cheeks with kisses while she squealed with delight. That day, he barely acknowledged either of us. He mumbled something that might have been hello, set his laptop bag down with more force than necessary, and walked straight to the kitchen. I followed him, Lily balanced on my hip, her tiny fingers tangled in my hair. Rough day, I asked, trying to keep my tone light. Marcus just shrugged, opening the refrigerator and staring into it like the answers to life's mysteries might be hiding behind the milk cart. He wasn't eating. He wasn't drinking. He was just standing there, and I could feel the tension radiating off him in waves. Marcus, what's wrong? I pressed, shifting Lily to my other hip. She reached out toward her father, making the little grabbing motions that usually melted his heart. He glanced at her, and something flickered across his face. Something I'd never seen before. Something that made my stomach drop. Nothing, he said, closing the refrigerator door. Just tired, but it wasn't nothing. Over the next hour, I watched my husband move through our home like a ghost. He sat on the couch, but he wasn't really there. His eyes were unfocused, staring at the wall above the television. When I asked if he wanted dinner, he barely responded. When Lily crawled over to him, babbling in her baby language and pulling herself up using his knee, he patted her head absently, but didn't engage with her the way he normally did. I put Lily to bed at 7:30, going through our usual routine of bath time, pajamas, and her favorite bedtime story about a bunny who couldn't sleep. She fought it a little, probably sensing the weird energy in the house. But eventually, her eyes drooped closed, and she drifted off with her thumb in her mouth and her other hand clutching her worn stuffed elephant. When I came back downstairs, Marcus was in the exact same position on the couch. I'd had enough. Okay, seriously, what is going on? I demanded, sitting down next to him. You've been acting like a zombie since you got home. Did something happen at work? Did you get fired? Are you sick? He finally looked at me, then really looked at me, and what I saw in his eyes made my blood run cold. There was doubt there, suspicion, pain. I need to talk to you about something, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. My heart started pounding. 1,000 terrible scenarios flashed through my mind. He was leaving me. He'd met someone else. He had a terminal illness. What is it? I asked, my voice shaking. Marcus took a deep breath, his hands clenched into fists on his knees. Derek at work has been making comments lately. About Lily. Derek. I knew Derek, or at least I knew of him. Marcus had mentioned him before, usually in the context of office politics and annoying coworkers. Derek had gone through a messy divorce about a year ago, something involving infidelity and a custody battle that had gotten ugly. What kind of comments? I asked slowly. He keeps saying that Lily doesn't look like me. Marcus said, not meeting my eyes. At first, I brushed it off. Baby's changed so much, and I figured he was just being his usual negative self. But he kept bringing it up, showing me pictures of his kids at that age, pointing out all these similarities. And then last week, he asked me if I'd ever considered getting a paternity test. The words hung in the air between us like poison gas. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I just sat there staring at my husband, waiting for him to laugh and tell me this was some kind of sick joke. But he didn't laugh. Instead, he finally looked at me, and I saw that he was serious. Dead serious. I want to get a paternity test, he said. I need to know for sure that Lily is mine. Time seemed to stop. The clock on the wall kept ticking, but everything else froze. I could hear my own heartbeat thundering in my ears. I could feel the weight of Lily's tiny sock in my hand, the one I'd been carrying around meaning to put in the laundry. I looked down at it, at the little pink and white stripes, and something inside me snapped. Are you serious right now? I asked, my voice deadly calm. You're seriously asking me this? I'm not accusing you of anything, Marcus said quickly, holding up his hand. hands. I just need peace of mind. Derek got in my head, and I can't stop thinking about it. If we just do the test, then we'll know for sure, and everything can go back to normal. Peace of mind. He needed peace of mind. As if the last 4 years of our relationship, the last year of raising our daughter together, meant nothing. As if his trust in me was so fragile that one bitter co-worker could shatter it completely. Let me get this straight, I said, standing up. My whole body was shaking now, but not from fear. From rage. Pure, white-hot rage. You wanted to prove to you that I didn't cheat on you. That our daughter, the baby I carried for 9 months, the baby I pushed out of my body after 18 hours of labor, the baby I've been feeding and changing and rocking to sleep every single night, is actually yours. It's not like that. Marcus protested, standing up too. I'm not saying you cheated. I just want to be sure. Those are the same thing. I shouted, no longer caring if I woke Lily. If you need a test to believe that Lily is your daughter, then you're saying you think there's a chance I slept with someone else. You're calling me a cheater and a liar. I'm not, he insisted, but his voice lacked conviction. I just need to know. That's when I really lost it. All the hurt and betrayal and absolute fury came pouring out of me in a torrent I couldn't control. You want to know something, Marcus? Lily looks exactly like my baby pictures. Exactly. Same nose, same eyes, same little dimple in her left cheek. If you spent half as much time actually looking at your daughter instead of listening to your miserable co-worker who can't keep his own family together, you'd know that. Marcus flinched, but I wasn't done. Not even close. And you know what else? Maybe you should get a brain scan while you're at it, because clearly something is wrong with you if you think I would ever betray you like that. I've been faithful to you since the day we met. I have never even looked at another man. I chose you, Marcus. I married you. I had your baby. And this is how you repay that loyalty? By doubting me. I'm sorry, he said, but it sounded hollow. I know this is hard to hear, but Derek made some good points. He showed me statistics about paternity fraud. It's more common than people think. Derek, I spat the name like a curse. Derek, who cheated on his own wife with a woman from accounting. Derek, whose ex-wife has full custody of his kids because the judge didn't trust him. Derek, who's been trying to poison every happy marriage in the office because he can't stand to see other people succeed where he failed. That Derek? That's who you're taking advice from. Marcus had the decency to look ashamed, but he still didn't back down. I just want to be certain, he repeated. Is that really so wrong? Yes. I screamed. Yes, it is wrong, because it means you don't trust me. It means that after 3 years of marriage, after building a life together, after creating a human being together, you still think I might have lied to you about the most important thing in the world. How am I supposed to come back from that, Marcus? How are we supposed to come back from that? He didn't have an answer. He just stood there, looking miserable and confused, like he couldn't understand why I was so upset. Like asking for a paternity test was the same as asking me to pick up milk from a store. A simple request that shouldn't be a big deal. You want a test? I asked, my voice cold now. Phoenix, but I want you to understand something first. The moment you get that test, the moment you confirm what I already know, which is that Lily is 100% your daughter, our marriage will never be the same. You'll have your proof, but you'll have lost my trust. And trust, Marcus, is a hell of a lot harder to rebuild than it is to destroy. I didn't wait for his response. I turned and walked upstairs, leaving him standing alone in the living room. I checked on Lily, who was still sleeping peacefully, completely unaware that her father had just blown up our family. I stood over her crib for a long time, watching her chest rise and fall, her little rosebud mouth moving slightly as she dreamed. She had Marcus's chin dimple, the same one his grandfather had in all the old photos. She had my nose and my eyes, but that dimple was pure Marcus. How could he not see it? I didn't sleep that night. I lay in our bed, staring at the ceiling, while Marcus stayed downstairs. I could hear him moving around, the sound of the couch springs creaking as he presumably tried to get comfortable. Good. I hoped he was miserable. I hoped he lay awake all night thinking about what he'd done. The next morning, I got up early and went through the motions of caring for Lily. I made her breakfast, changed her diaper, played with her blocks on the living room floor. Marcus emerged from the living room looking haggard, his hair sticking up in every direction, dark circles under his eyes. He tried to talk to me, but I ignored him. What was there to say? That was 5 days ago. Marcus has been sleeping on the couch ever since. He goes to work, comes home, and we exist in the same space without really interacting. It's like we're ghosts haunting the same house. The only time I speak to him is when it's absolutely necessary, and even then, I keep it brief and cold. The worst part is watching Lily try to understand why Daddy won't play with her anymore. She's too young to comprehend what's happening, but she knows something is wrong. She keeps crawling over to the couch where Marcus sits, pulling herself up and reaching for him with those chubby little hands. Sometimes he picks her up, but there's a distance there now, a hesitation, like he's afraid to bond with her until he has his precious proof. It breaks my heart into a million pieces every single time. Lily didn't ask for this. She didn't do anything wrong. She's just a baby who loves her daddy and can't understand why he's suddenly treating her like a stranger. On the third day, Marcus's mother called me. "What the hell is going on?" she demanded. Marcus told me he's sleeping on the couch, but he won't tell me why. "Did you two have a fight?" I almost laughed at the understatement. "You should ask your son," I said. "This is his mess." There was a pause, and then she said, "He wants a paternity test, doesn't he?" I was so shocked, I almost dropped the phone. "How did you know?" She sighed a long, weary sound. "Because he called me yesterday asking if I thought Lily looked like him. I told him he was being an idiot. That baby has the Marcus family chin dimple, just like his grandfather, just like him. I don't know what's gotten into his head, but he needs to snap out of it. His co-worker Derek has been filling his head with poison." I explained, my voice tight. Apparently, Marcus values Derek's opinion more than his wife's faithfulness. "Derek," she said, and I could hear the disgust in her voice. "That man is a cancer. I met him at the office Christmas party last year. Spent the whole time complaining about his ex-wife and how women can't be trusted. I should have known he'd cause trouble. Well, he succeeded," I said bitterly. "Marcus doesn't trust me anymore. He wants proof that our daughter is his." "That boy," she muttered. "I raised him better than this. Let me talk to him." I don't know exactly what Marcus's mother said to him, but I heard raised voices on the phone later that evening. She called me back afterward to apologize for her son's behavior and to assure me that she was on my side. "You're a good mother and a good wife," she said firmly. "Marcus is lucky to have you, and if he can't see that, then he's a fool." Her support meant more to me than I could express, but it didn't fix anything. Marcus was still on the couch. We were still not speaking, and Lily was still caught in the middle, wondering why her family had fallen apart. Yesterday, my sister came over. She took one look at the situation and immediately went off on Marcus. "Are you out of your mind?" she yelled at him. "Your wife has been nothing but devoted to you, and this is how you treat her? By accusing her of cheating?" "I'm not accusing her," Marcus said weakly, but even he seemed to realize how hollow that sounded now. "Yes, you are," my sister shot back. "That's exactly what a paternity test means. It means you think there's a possibility that she slept with someone else. And the fact that you can't see how insulting and hurtful that it just proves how far up your own ass your head is right now." Marcus didn't have a response to that. He just sat there, looking defeated and lost. Part of me wanted to comfort him, to tell him it would be okay. But a bigger part of me was still too angry, too hurt. He'd broken something between us, something precious and fragile, and I didn't know if it could be fixed. Today is day 5, and I'm starting to realize that we can't go on like this. Something has to give. Either Marcus needs to apologize, and we need to work through this, or we need to accept that our marriage might be over. The thought terrifies me, but I can't live in this limbo forever. Lily deserves better. I deserve better. This afternoon, while Lily was napping, I finally broke the silence. "We need to talk," I said to Marcus, who was sitting on the couch scrolling through his phone. He looked up, hope flickering in his eyes. "Okay," he said. "I'm listening. I've been thinking about what you said." I began choosing my words carefully. "About the paternity test, and I realized something. This isn't really about Lily or whether she's yours. This is about trust. Either you trust me or you don't. And if you don't trust me after everything we've been through together, then we have a much bigger problem than a paternity test can solve." Marcus set his phone down, his expression serious. "I do trust you," he said. "I know I haven't acted like it, but I do." "Then why do you need the test?" I asked. "If you really trust me, if you really believe that I've been faithful to you, then why do you need proof?" He was quiet for a long moment, and I could see him struggling with the answer. Finally, he said, "Because Derek got in my head. He kept showing me all these articles and statistics, and I started second-guessing everything. Not because I think you cheated, but because he made me paranoid. I know that's not fair to you. I know I should have trusted my gut and told him to shut up, but I didn't, and now we're here. Yes, we are, I agree. And the question is, where do we go from here? Because I can't be married to someone who doubts me every time some bitter coworker whispers poison in his ear. I need a partner who believes in me, who has my back, who knows in his bones that I would never betray him. Can you be that person, Marcus?" He looked at me, really looked at me, and I saw tears forming in his eyes. "I want to be," he said, his voice cracking. "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you. I'm sorry I let Derek manipulate me. I'm sorry I hurt you and scared Lily and turned our home into a war zone. I don't want a paternity test. I don't need one. I know Lily is mine. I've always known. I just let fear and insecurity cloud my judgment. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him so badly. But trust, once broken, doesn't magically repair itself with an apology." "I hear you," I said carefully. "But words are easy, Marcus. Actions are what matter. You need to show me that you mean what you're saying. You need to prove to me that you're committed to rebuilding what you broke." "I will," he promised. "Whatever it takes, I'll do it. Therapy, counseling, whatever you need. I'll cut Derek out of my life completely. I'll do better. I'll be better." "You're going to have to," I said, "because I can't go through this again. If you ever doubt me like this again, if you ever let someone else's opinion matter more than our relationship, I'm done. I won't put Lily through this. I won't put myself through this. This is your one chance to make it right." He nodded, wiping at his eyes. I understand. Thank you for giving me that chance. I know I don't deserve it. No, you don't. I agree. But I love you, and I want our family to stay together. So I'm willing to try. But you need to understand that things are different now. You hurt me, Marcus, deeply, and it's going to take time for me to trust you again. I know, he said. I'll wait as long as it takes. We sat there in silence for a while, the weight of everything that had happened hanging heavy between us. Finally, I said, Lily has your grandfather's chin dimple. Your mother pointed it out to you. I pointed it out to you. It's right there, clear as day. How could you not see it? Marcus's face crumpled. I see it now, he whispered. I see it every time I look at her, and it kills me that I ever doubted. She's mine. She's ours. I know that. Then start acting like it, I said. She's been reaching for you for 5 days, and you've been treating her like she's a stranger. She doesn't understand what's happening. All she knows is that Daddy doesn't want to play with her anymore. You need to fix that. As if on cue, we heard Lily's voice over the baby monitor, the little babbling sound she makes when she's waking up from a nap. Marcus stood up, looking at me for permission. I nodded toward the stairs. Go get her daughter, I said. He practically ran up the stairs, and I followed more slowly. By the time I reached Lily's room, Marcus had already picked her up and was holding her close, his face buried in her wispy hair. She was patting his cheeks with her tiny hands, giggling at having her daddy back. I'm sorry, baby girl, Marcus was whispering. Daddy's been an idiot, but I'm here now. I'm here. Watching them together, I felt some of the ice around my heart start to thaw. We had a long way to go, and things weren't magically fixed just because Marcus had apologized. But seeing him hold our daughter, seeing the love and remorse on his face, gave me hope that maybe, just maybe, we could find our way back to each other. That night, Marcus asked if he could sleep in our bed again. I hesitated, then shook my head. Not yet, I said. I need more time, but you can move to the guest room. The couch can't be comfortable. He accepted that without argument, and I appreciated that he didn't push. Baby steps. That's what we needed. Baby steps toward rebuilding what he'd broken. It's been a week now since that terrible Tuesday. Marcus has been making an effort. He comes home and immediately spends time with Lily, playing with her, reading to her, being the father he should have been all along. He's been respectful of my boundaries, giving me space when I need it, but also showing me through his actions that he's committed to fixing this. He told me he had a conversation with Derek at work, making it clear that he was no longer interested in his opinions or his toxic worldview. Apparently, Derek didn't take it well and has been giving Marcus the cold shoulder, but Marcus says he doesn't care. Good. Derek has done enough damage. We have our first couples therapy session scheduled for next week. Marcus found a therapist who specializes in trust issues and relationship repair, and he made the appointment without me having to ask. That meant something to me. It showed me that he was serious about doing the work. I still have moments where the anger and hurt come rushing back. Moments where I look at him and think about how easily he doubted me, how quickly he was willing to believe that I could betray him. Those moments are hard, but I'm trying to move forward for Lily's sake and for my own. My sister asked me if I thought we'd make it through this. I told her I honestly didn't know. Some days I think we will. Other days, I'm not so sure, but I'm willing to try, and that has to count for something. Marcus's mother has been a godsend through all of this. She checks in on me regularly, offers to babysit Lily when I need a break, and doesn't make excuses for her son's behavior. She's made it clear that she thinks Marcus was wrong, and that support has meant the world to me. It's nice to know that not everyone thinks I'm overreacting or being too harsh. Last night, Marcus asked if we could talk about what happens next. We sat down after Lily was asleep, and he said, I know I have a lot to prove to you. I know trust isn't rebuilt overnight, but I want you to know that I'm in this for the long haul. I'm not giving up on us. I'm not giving up either, I told him. But you need to understand that this changed things between us. I'll never forget that you doubted me. Even if I forgive you, even if we move past this, it's always going to be there in the back of my mind. That's something you're going to have to live with. He nodded, accepting that. I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you if I have to. You and Lily are everything to me. I almost lost you because I was stupid and insecure, and I'll never make that mistake again. I want to believe him. I really do, and maybe with time and effort and a lot of hard work, I will. But right now, I'm just taking it one day at a time, trying to figure out how to be a wife to a man who hurt me so deeply while also being a mother to a daughter who deserves a stable, loving home. This morning, I was playing with Lily on the floor when she pulled herself up using the coffee table and took 3 wobbly steps toward Marcus before falling on her bottom. We both gasped, then looked at each other in amazement. Did she just... Marcus started. She walked. I finished, my voice full of wonder. She took her first steps. For a moment, the tension between us dissolved, and we were just two parents marveling marveling at their daughter's milestone. Marcus scooped Lily up and spun her around, making her squeal with delight. "That's my girl," he said, and I could hear the pride and love in his voice. "That's my girl. Not is she my girl, or I need proof she's my girl. Just simple, uncomplicated love and pride. Maybe that's what gives me the most hope. When Marcus forgets to doubt, when he just exists in the moment with his daughter, I can see the man I married, the man I fell in love with, the man I want to believe is still in there, underneath the insecurity and fear. We have a long road ahead of us. Therapy, difficult conversations, rebuilding trust brick by brick. It won't be easy, and there'll be setbacks. But as I watch Marcus play with Lily, as I see the remorse and determination in his eyes, I think maybe we have a chance. Maybe we can come back from this. Maybe our family can survive. Only time will tell. But for now, I'm choosing to hope. I'm choosing to believe that love and commitment and hard work can overcome even the deepest betrayals. Because the alternative, giving up on everything we've built together, is too painful to contemplate. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe for more real-life relationship experiences and the lessons we learned from them.